Aggression can be a slow build-up or an instant flare-up. However, often the situation will end up unsafe. We need to do something. You have two choices when a situation becomes unsafe. We can remove John, or if that's not going to work, last resort we could look at removing everyone else. But the first thing we have to do before anything else is manage our own behaviour. Your emotions will be bouncing all over the place. This is a challenging situation, but you need to keep your emotions in check. Body language and paraverbal communication are key. When someone has lost it, when they are in an aggressive, unsafe frame of mind, they won't be hearing what you're saying. They'll be seeing how you say it, and they'll be hearing your tone of voice. Keep your phrases simple. Avoid putting ideas in John's head. If I say to you now, don't think of an elephant, I guarantee an elephant is the first thing you'll think of. So if I say to John, John, you're angry, that would just trigger more emotions in John. Use phrases that are simple. John, talk and I'll listen. John, take some space. Then give John that time. Make certain that John has an exit. Our temptation can be to control the situation. We want to keep people safe. We can place ourselves in harm's way and we can make the situation worse. So make sure that there's a way for John to get out if that's where he needs to go. Remember your routines. If this is a behaviour that's happened before, then you'll have had ways of managing John in this situation. Stick to those. That's John's safety, that's his security, but it's also the security for the rest of the class. Get to know your students, spot the early signs. What happens with John? What does John start to do? Does he start to twitch? Does he start to get up more? Does he go redder in the face? What happens to John in the early stages so that we can intervene? Use agreed signals. If this is a behaviour that's repeating, agree a signal with John, a subtle signal that you can use when you recognise the early signs to move him on. Give a positive instruction rather than a negative. Tell John what to do, not what not to do. And remember, your priority is to get the situation calm. It's not the time to discuss what was right, what was wrong. It's the behaviour that's the issue, not John. But it's also really important to separate out the emotion. It's okay to feel angry. There is nothing wrong with feeling angry. We all get angry. But we don't throw chairs across a room. That's not acceptable. But when we're dealing with students who have got aggressive tendencies, we need to let them know it's okay to have those emotions. We don't want them to suppress the emotions. We want them to change the way they display that emotion. Control the ripple effect in the room. Nothing sends out issues faster around a classroom than aggressive behaviour. Some students will try and jump on board, but a lot of students will actually just be scared. They will be concerned about what is happening. You need to treat them as a whole. Give positive, clear instructions to them, just as you are to John. Let them know what you want them to do. Thank them for helping John. This is the best way you can help John. Help me to help John. Before John can return to your classroom, the issue needs to be resolved. It needs to be resolved from John's point of view, and it needs to be resolved from your point of view. There needs to be a debrief. In that debrief, we need to look at what happened. And at this point, it's non-judgmental. We just want to know what's happened. What was John thinking at the time? John needs to start reflecting on that so that John can start to recognise the signals. Then crucially, what do we need to do to put this right? How can we avoid this happening next time? Sit down with John and discuss that. Aggressive behaviour is challenging. We can't always prepare for every situation. But if we're aware of our students' needs, if we're aware of possibilities of problems and difficulties, then we can mitigate and we can plan for how we're going to deal with the situation. If we do that, if we rehearse our scripts, if we are ready, then when the aggressive behaviour strikes, we have more chance of keeping calm ourselves, in which case, more chance of keeping John calm. And that's what we're aiming for.